Good
And
evening.
first of all, I must congratulate you for your journey to setting up India's largest AI supercomputer, AI supercomputing cloud. And thank you for choosing NVIDIA as your partner, technology partner as well. Having said that, ever since you made the announcement, we are getting loads of people reaching us and asking us, what is this Yotta Cloud, Shakti Cloud all about? When can I get it? What it offers? So I thought in the next 10, 12 minutes, I will discuss with you those questions which are coming up and try to get some answers to that.
Sure.
Yeah, so to start with, if you can just give an overview of this AI supercomputing cloud or Shakti cloud of Yotta. And also if you can specifically touch on, there are already GPU cloud services available in the market. And what is that so unique about the AI Shakti cloud or the Shakti supercomputing cloud? And also if you can touch upon what is that unique offerings which has Shakti Cloud will be offering to the customers in India from various segments.
Sure. Good evening, Bangalore. I think since morning I was attending all the sessions and you are all attending the sessions. In every session, while we are talking about creating AI modules, talent, education, academia, and many other facets which the minister also touched upon. But one facet which I think is getting discussed most, where are the GPU chips? And that is the answer we have tried to give by creating this cloud called Shakti Cloud. Shakti, as you know, is power, and GPU gives the power to run AI. So we thought it's appropriate that we Indians in India, in Indian data center, controlled by Indians, are creating a cloud for AI. So we gave it name Shakti Cloud. Essentially what we are doing is, thank you. Essentially what we are doing is, I'm a data center company. I run data center campuses in Mumbai and Delhi. In these data centers, I'm giving space, power, and cooling for customers. I'm giving cloud services. By the way, by February, I'll be launching, hoping to have a credible alternative to Amazon, Google, and Azure by launching another cloud called Yotta Cloud, which will be again a cloud completely built, created by, designed by, built by, operated by, controlled by Indians, so that not only your data is localized, but the machinery which is running your data, the cloud, is also owned and controlled by Indians, which I think in the current geopolitical context is very, very important. So that is Yotta Cloud. Now that this opportunity of AI came in, we thought, why not we take the first step? Because all our efforts which we are taking in creating an orchestration layer to build my cloud possibly can be used to even run on the top of GPUs. So I bring GPUs to India on a very large scale so that this problem gets over, which we all are talking about. And I also make those GPUs available on a self-service model, in a very easy to use model, to everybody who's looking forward to do that. And that is essentially Shakti Cloud. Giving some more details, we have placed the order on NVIDIA for about 16,000 H100 GPUs. Given the overall scarcity, thankfully Jensen Huang, who came to India, met Prime Minister about 3 months back. He made a commitment to the Prime Minister that if there is a local provider who is willing to take the bait and work with us, we will be supplying GPUs to India, to that provider, come what may. There may be scarcity globally, but we will give it to India. They have kept up their promise. So in February, I will be receiving 4,000 H100 GPUs. I will be receiving about 512 L40S GPUs, which are equivalent of A100. We are putting it on a complete NVIDIA reference architecture, essentially an InfiniBand network, so that if you want to create, if you want to have a one single H100, HGX box and make your model, you can do that. But if you want to have a cluster of hundreds of HGX boxes and make a large AI model, and all these boxes are connected to each other through a high speed, that 400 Gbps InfiniBand network, even that can be done. So that is what Shakti Cloud is. Huge amount of GPUs connected to each other through a fast network, being made available in a high-class data center in India by February 2024, and this 4,000 will be expanding to 16,000 by May 2024. That is what Shakti Cloud is.
Fantastic, Sunil. That is fantastic for India, especially for the people who are looking at adopting AI into their development or deployment cycles. But having said that, I'm sure AI Shakti Cloud, Yotta Shakti Cloud is going to make a very high impact to the AI landscape of India. And if you can throw a little more light on how it is going to accelerate the work which already people are into AI adoption journey, and as well if you can also throw lights on how it is going to help, how the users from various segments can be deriving the services from this Yotta Shakti Cloud, especially from startups, from research organizations, from higher education, the government bodies, the industries, and so on.
Absolutely. So I think there is a whole community out there in this hall and beyond, which is already making a whole lot of AI models, who are doing so much of research and development work on creating use cases for various industries, and that is their job. They are good at doing that. That is not the job I am doing. I am not going to create models. But what you are all asking for is the underlying GPU capacity, the network capacity, the storage capacity, and possibly the PaaS layer, which helps you in developing your model. And when you are asking for that, you are saying, can I use it possibly for few hours? Because if I try to buy it myself, first of all, I will not get it for possibly 12 months because there is a lot of scarcity. Even if I get it, I have to have a huge data center because the power cooling requirement is humongous. I need to develop all those skill sets. I need to have manpower and skill sets to run that. And I need to spend some good couple of millions of dollars. Now, do you want to do that even while you are experimenting with AI models and you are not sure how successful it would be? Possibly majority of us cannot do that except for some very large corporates who have got tons of money. That is the problem I'm solving. Essentially, that is what is cloud model all about. I am investing into, I already have data centers. I have got those data centers which can handle the type of power and cooling which the HGX boxes, the GPUs require. So once this is available, right, the GPUs and this whole network is available, I'm actually making it available whether it is a small startup needing a HGX one single card possibly, or a large enterprise asking for multiples of them on a usage model. So from my side, it will be, you are taking maybe, if you just want to have it for a couple of hours, it's fine. You want to take it for 1 month, it's fine. You want to take it for 1 year, 3 years, all those commercial models are available, but they are on usage model. You are not getting stuck with a requirement of millions of dollars to be spent. And I think if I make this available, you all are, adept at making great models. The compute was the thing which was not there with you, and that is something which I'm making it available. So that is one part. Let me just also touch upon the second part which I was explaining. Not only just the GPUs, the bare metal layer, I'm also making a complete self-service orchestration layer available and a marketplace layer available. And that's what I was hinting at. When I was building my Yantra cloud, the hyperscale cloud layer, the same orchestration layer, more or less, I'm adapting to run on the top of my Shakti cloud as well. So just imagine, you as a startup are coming, creating your, whichever part of India you are, you're creating your username, password, you're putting a login account into my Shakti cloud, and you are getting an interface. And we, by the way, demonstrated this this is already ready. We demonstrated it in GPay event for 3 days in Delhi just, this week. You actually are getting an interface where already all the, for example, NVIDIA frameworks are already available. Those NVIDIA, GPU containers are already available, carrying various frameworks. Various pre-trained models are already available. There is a complete CI/CD pipeline environment which we have created in this. So you are actually ingesting your own model, ingesting your own data into a pre-trained model, creating your own unique model, and just putting it for inferencing. So one is making the GPUs available to you on a very cost-effective usage model. You are not paying a huge capex. You are not getting into the nitty-gritties of running a data center. Second is making it available at a very lower cost. And third is giving you the entire software framework so that you can use it very easily and not getting into a huge complications of software layer which runs between your model and the underlying GPUs. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, that is very enlightening. So you are saying that it will be available as a completely as a platform, as a service on the AI models.
Yes.
With the complete AI models available there. Before I touch upon to your, ask you more about that platform which you talked about, there are many people out there who want to build up large GPU data centers themselves. But when they go through that, they come across this one challenge called, hey, legacy data centers are not sufficient to run thousands of GPUs. There is a loads of the sophistication. There is a lots of specialization required instead of power, cooling, data center racks, and so on and so forth. I'm sure you would have gone through that when you thought of this data center building to host thousands of GPUs on that. Starting with whatever you 4,000 to going up to 16,000, and wish you that you will go to lakhs on that one day. If you can, I'm sure everybody is curious to know what goes behind that, to set up such a kind of unique data centers or the thousands of GPUs powering data centers. So if you can share some of your experiences on building that data center, what re-engineering you had to do, what innovation solutions you had to bring, what strategies you have to change within your teams and in your execution. That will be quite enlightening.
I think this is a great question, very, very relevant, in today's context when there are thoughts coming in our mind that, let's say even if the GPU compute, those GPUs are available to us, in which model we take it? Should we go on a hyperscale cloud operator, or I can just purchase it from NVIDIA and possibly run it in my own office, put up a rack, put up those servers in some racks and start doing it? Or maybe co-locating into some data center? What is the model I should adopt? I can tell you that I have been into data center for 30 years now. And in the last 7 or 8 years, I might have built some very large-scale data centers which are hosting the hyperscale cloud operators and some of the most mission-critical loads of cloud operators and governments and enterprises, all of them. And the data centers which I made in Yotta, the Bombay and Delhi one, I thought they are like the ultimate ones. Any type of use cases coming in, I can handle them. The typical power per rack in those data centers, the most high-end data centers, are 6 to 8 kilowatt per rack, right? Even the hyperscale clouds running on CPUs, it is a good enough environment for 6 to 8 kilowatt power per rack, because you design your data center power distribution, cooling distribution, everything as per that. And most of you are familiar with data center, how air comes from below the rack and cools the racks and all. Now imagine when I got into conversations for the last couple of months with the NVIDIA global team, that now I need to put GPUs. On one side, my IT team was getting into the nitty-gritties of the IT design of the GPU boxes with the networks, the special type of software, special type of storage, everything. In parallel, my facility team was sitting just to understand what it takes to host these GPUs. And now imagine what is the power I'm talking about per rack. It is 48 kilowatt per rack. So compared to 8 kilowatt power per rack, we are talking about 48 kilowatt power per rack, and I'm talking about hundreds of these racks stacked together in a single hall. The moment I'm talking about this type of power handling, even the best of the data centers globally, it is not India, best of the centers globally today are not equipped to handle this type of workload, because not only you cannot get so much of power, but the amount of heat this environment generates, you need some very specialized type of cooling. My top class data center is practically getting re-engineered for the last 2 months, so that before the GPUs come to me by end January, my data center, that particular floor, should be capable to host those GPUs. Which essentially means instead of throwing the cool air from below the rack, now I have to take liquid, water or a special type of liquid right up to the chip, so that whatever heat the chip, the CPU or the GPU or the memory generates, I'm able to extract that power right from there, then and there from liquid, and take it out. Now this means huge complex re-engineering. So my message out here is, yes, you can, if you are a very large corporate with millions of dollars of money, yes, you can source GPUs, you can build data centers, but this will be very, very complex process, and it will be time consuming process. You'll spend 12 months to source GPUs, but you possibly will spend 24 months in building a type of data center which these GPUs require. So in lieu of that, and that is where coming back to that, I as a sort of a specialized DC provider, I'm already able to create that environment. I'm learning through that curve myself, but I'm able to create that because that is my business. I'm learning through the curves of creating this GPU environment with the support of the NVIDIA team. These two put together are ultimately creating GPU as a service, which end to end with a single SLA ownership, I'm able to give to you on a usage hourly model. So it is complete technical deliverable for running your AI model and still on a usage model. That is the proposition which I'm putting in.
Fantastic. You make it to look so simple of, using a complex GPU computing, large number of data center, just available on the tab. Before we conclude, the one last question I have is you mentioned about, AI platform as a service, or looking like, a software layer which is available as a self-service layer where AI models, AI development tools, containers, you use those words. Can you throw some more light on that, what this layer means? So as a user, I don't have to bother about setting it up. The moment I pay you, I want to start using it, and I just will bring my data and start using it. How does it help the users on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think all of us are using the current cloud services from either Amazon or Azure or Google, right? Now, just imagine that instead of the underlying CPU-based VMs, now you are getting GPU-based capacity. So that is the underlying compute part. There is a special type of compute, there is a special type of storage, there is a special type of that InfiniBand network. But on the top of that, again, there is a software layer which Amazon or Google or Azure have put in. So you get a very simple interface and you go create your account on that AWS and start using their variety of compute services, right? You also must have seen a marketplace there. So not only you consume Amazon services, but also you can consume a lot of application services, which are third-party applications, which people have put in Amazon marketplace, so you can consume even those applications. You click on those applications, necessary resources get aligned, and you are able to consume those applications on a usage model right from Amazon Cloud. Now, the same software layer you are putting in on the top of GPUs, and that is what the layer I'm talking about. I created my Yantra cloud putting that layer. I was developing that layer in-house, again saying the Indian word again. It is completely developed in India by Indians, will be created by Indians and controlled and operated by Indians. Similar way, I created the same open source based layer for Shakti Cloud as well, right? So that you are coming and you're not being bothered about manually how I will make the GPUs available to you. Even on the day of launch, and I showed you, to the audience on GPay, that even if you are purchasing a pure bare metal from me, you don't need to sign an offline contract with me. You will be able to come on my portal, you will be able to see the selection of the GPUs I have available. You put their operating system, choose some more parameters, and just go to a payment gateway or whatever, pay the whatever charges, and your bare metal is available to you. That is how you do it for cloud as well. And second, as I said, that beyond bare metal, we will be putting in, along with NVIDIA, along with open source community, a whole lot of pre-trained models and the frameworks which help you in creating those AI models. But the models which you create as startups, ultimately you also want the bigger community to start using those models. You also want to market those models. My marketplace also will be inviting all of you to put your models in my marketplace, so that the end users who you are targeting can start consuming your model also from my marketplace itself. So in a way, Shakti Cloud is not only giving you the compute and the framework to develop your models, it is also going to help you in marketing your models and the output which you want to give to your end customers. And that's what the layer I'm talking about.
So one last question. So when will this be available? When can I start clicking on your portal and start reserving it for me?
So the production environment, which will be commercially available as early as February, we are targeting 15th February. The development environment, the UAT environment is available even now. We have not made it public, but we were demonstrating it in a Delhi event. If the time would have permitted, we would have demonstrated in this event also. So it is, I would say, technically completely ready. We are obviously waiting for the big guys, NVIDIA guys, to give us the chips. The data center is getting ready. By mid-February, we can expect that all the problems which we were talking since morning about whether in India we'll get the GPUs or not on a usage model, on a very cost-effective model, I think very modestly that those problems we are able to overcome. We'll be supplying those GPUs to the entire Indian community right in mid-February.
Thank you, Sunil, and we wish you more Shakti to you to get you more AI computing Shakti to the digital India AI adopters there. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you so much. Thank you, audience. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil Gupta and Ganesh Mahabala, for that riveting discussion. It really was a pleasure hearing both of you. Thank you for joining us.